Hello, I'm Matthew Buzzy with PC Mag, and I'm here with Sasha from Asus, and he's got with us one of Asus's, I think, most interesting product announcements out of this year's CES. A kind of a twist on something we've seen before, but a pretty new product, and you'll see why it's exciting pretty quickly when he starts talking about it. This is the ROG Flow Z13, and we have seen another Flow laptop, or tablet really, out of them before. And this one has taken it kind of to another level, both in design and in terms of components and performance. So Sasha, if you would tell us what is so exciting about this particular iteration.
So here it is, and that's the Flow Z13. And yeah, like you just mentioned, it's a tablet, and that makes it official. We have a Flow series now. So in the beginning of this year, or in the beginning of 2021, 1 year ago, we launched the ROG Flow X13. And the X13 is a laptop that can transform into a tablet. It's a convertible, so you can fold the keyboard over and then it's a tablet. This one is pretty much everything upside down. So it's a tablet, but you can attach a keyboard and then it becomes a laptop. And yes, the keyboard comes bundled with the device. But yeah, what's taking this to the next level is, first of all, the weight for the Flow X13, which is getting a refresh as well with the latest parts. That is 1.3 kilos. This one is only 1.1 kilos. So it's bringing down the weight to incredibly low points. And you would probably expect this to have about the same specs as a Flow X13 and have a high efficiency CPU. So this is based on the latest Intel 12th gen CPUs, but it's not a U series. It is an H series. So it's a performance series, 45 watts. It's the same full-blown Intel Core i9 12th gen CPU that you'll find in 15-inch, 16-inch, and 17-inch gaming laptops in 2022, but in a 1 kilo tablet. And that's—
I gotta stress, I'm gonna stop and stress that how eyebrow-raising that is for those who are not aware. When I first heard that, I was definitely surprised. Normally, you see a tablet in that form factor. The first thing you think, first of all, with a detachable keyboard is a Microsoft Surface, right? Which is not a gaming system at all. So you would also probably assume the power is somewhere equivalent to that, even if it's gaming capable with a lower grade GPU or lower grade CPU. You definitely wouldn't think it's i9 and that it's a H series. So off the bat, way before we get to test that, I won't make any promises about the performance because I can't do that yet until we test it ourselves. But on paper, that is really head turning because that sounds like something we've never seen before.
Right, and it's only 12 millimeters thin. So 12 millimeters, around 1 kilo. Yeah, here you can see the motherboard. You can see how compact it is and how much space the CPU and GPU take up on this device. So yeah, there you have it. And we're able to do that because of liquid metal, like we use on all our 2021 and 2022 devices, and a vapor chamber that runs from edge to edge on this device and cools both CPU and GPU. Now, this one is not the final one. You can see it doesn't have the nickel plating on the CPU cold plate that makes the liquid metal stay on there and be fine for years and years without any drying out or corrosion or anything. So yeah, and for the keyboard as well that comes with it, it docks via pogo pins, as you can see here. So it's USB, it's wired, super low latency, it's not Bluetooth, so no issues with that. The keyboard is RGB as well for extra performance. Yeah, it has a built-in kickstand that's pretty neat as well. Oh yeah, I have to mention the window. It has a freaking window in the back of the tablet that lets you see. Yeah, that lets you see the motherboard. It's a bit like a PC case, right? Like a gaming system where you can see the inside. So yeah, you can see the motherboard, some of the components. There's RGB lighting on here, multi-zone, some cool animations effects. There's a kickstand that goes to 170 degrees, almost completely flat. And under that, you can see right here, there's a little door that lets you swap out the SSD. Because yeah, it's not onboard flash memory. This is a proper Gen 4 SSD, 2230, that you can just upgrade and swap out. There's
Which I will say that not even all gaming laptops let you do still.
Right.
Most
but
of them
this
don't.
tablet does. So yeah, pretty cool, right?
Did you mention? I don't think which GPU. Sorry, is in there in particular.
Up to an RTX 3050 Ti, so it's the same as the Flow X13. But there's going to be an option without any dedicated GPU as well, because for a lot of people, they just want a device that's like super portable and super low weight and thin and everything. You have all your files on here, all your system files and all your information. And then it's a tablet, very convenient. And now it's a laptop. And when you come home or when you go to the office, you need extra performance, you can dock it to an XG Mobile. So this is a new XG Mobile that's coming out in 2022. We just announced it at CES. We have 2 of these already that are available on the market with up to an RTX 3080 and up to an RTX 3070. So those 2 are available already. This one is coming in 2022 with an AMD top-of-the-line mobile GPU. So there's going to be more XG Mobile options. And the cool thing about this is, so when you need performance, you can essentially dock it to an XG Mobile for extra performance, or even Thunderbolt, because this one is based on Intel, which means it supports Thunderbolt 4. So you can dock it to any Thunderbolt external GPU dock as well for top-of-the-line graphics performance. Yeah, our custom XG Mobile connector has 8 PCI Express lanes reserved directly just for the GPU for maximum performance. Thunderbolt is only 4 lanes, but then for a Thunderbolt adapter, you can use up to a 3090 or whatever GPU you're able to get if you're lucky enough to have one. So yeah, incredibly versatile device. It can be a tablet when you want it to be, and it's super low weight. It can be a desktop replacement workstation with a super high-end GPU and lots of extra I/O ports for XG Mobile or Thunderbolt. And it can be a laptop when you dock the keyboard and use the kickstand.
You can see now, viewers, why I said it was one of the more interesting and unique things at the start here. Definitely something we have not quite seen before. You know, external GPU, that aspect, not totally new, especially even with the original Flow and varying degrees of success in the past with different companies doing different external GPUs. But even that aside, the core components there, I mean, that's promising on its own. With all these features and those high-end components, can you talk a little bit about the pricing? I don't know if you have exact pricing, but I would suspect this is not the most expensive products around. This is a premium device.
Yeah, that's right. Pricing, you can expect similar pricing to the Flow X13, similar to that. And it's going to be a bigger range this time because there's going to be an option without dedicated GPU. So for people who just want a super portable device and they don't need a built-in 3050 GPU at all, you can get this tablet without any GPU whatsoever. And then that brings down the price, right? If you feel like, hey, I just want a super portable device with a gaming panel and a nice keyboard, you can have that. And I'm just going to use an external GPU anyways whenever I really need performance. So you can have that. Cool thing about this as well with the Vapor Chamber, if you're using external graphics, either Thunderbolt or XG Mobile, that means the integrated graphics, the 3050 Ti or 3050, can be switched off. They're not running. That means the Vapor Chamber can then cool the entire CPU and use the full potential just to cool the CPU. So the entire cooling system is focused just on the CPU, which allows us to push up the CPU TDP and performance. So on many of these ultra portable laptops that you can then use for external graphics, for extra performance, you're often CPU bottlenecked because you can't push the CPU to full performance. But on this one, you really can because you have a Vapor Chamber and liquid metal and can really push high TDP and clock speeds then.
Yeah, so thank you. I think we'll leave it there. I think that's a good roundup of sort of the features and the core design. The price on this will range. You mentioned it's similar pricing to the other one, but it'll range depending on if you get it with the eGPU or what components and all that. Quite a big range from 1,000 up to 2,000, depending quite what you're getting versus the starting price and whether or not you want the external enclosure and which GPU. But a big range, and as a base tablet, the product itself is could be on the more affordable side. At its highest performance potential, this could be as expensive as a high-end gaming laptop. But the design is not really like something we've seen before. So it might be worth checking out. That rear window again is a pretty cool addition. Thank you so much for showing this to us, Sasha, and we will get a full review of this when available in the future. Stay tuned to PC Mag for all of our CES 2022 coverage, and thank you so much for watching.